Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Talal and today I'll be talking about how you can save time on the digital SAT English section, right? So time management is a big problem and most of the students, they fail to get that score that they want because they fail to manage the time on the test, right? There are many students who are very good with the approaches, who know the questions, who know how to solve the questions, but they cannot manage those questions in time, right? And that is why they don't get that score, obviously, because they won't be they are not able to solve the paper in time, and at the end of the day they end up guessing on 5 6 7 questions at the end, and obviously they wouldn't get the score that they want. So today I'll be talking about I'll be giving you guys 5 areas where if you work on, you can easily improve and get a higher score on the English section of the SAT, and along with that you can save a lot of time when you go by that, right? These two things are connected on the SAT. Remember that if you are saving time, you will automatically get that liberty to score high, right? So today we'll talk about 5 things that can help you save time on the English section, right? So number 1, there is this tool called Annotation Tool on the Blue Book app, right? So what is annotation? Annotation is that you get that liberty to make notes, to write something, to help you retain what you have read, right? Now many students, they complain as we read the passage, we tend to forget what's going on in the passage, what is required from the question and everything, right? So you have a facility on the Blue Book when you're solving that test, and that facility is called annotation, right? Now I'll really encourage all of you to annotate when you're reading different passages. When you're doing questions, annotate on the basic keywords, and then look for those keywords in the passage to make yourself understand and retain what you've read. Select the important points in the passages and annotate on those passages as well, on those points as well. These annotations will keep you restricted to the passages, and you won't digress, you won't go wayward, and you will get what you need out of the question and out of the passage, right? So annotation is very important when it comes to solving the question, and it will save you a lot of time once you know and understand how to use it properly. I'll try to make some other videos on that as well, how to annotate on the digital SAT Blue Book. But for starters, I'm giving you that tip that you should start doing that right away. The second tip that I have for you guys is that you have to stick to the fact you should stick to the 1-minute rule. Now guys, you have to understand that you have 27 questions on the digital SAT English section per module, and you have 32 minutes to solve them. So if we calculate, if we divide, multiply, we understand that we have a little more than 1 minute for solving every question. Now what that means is that if I take even if I take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to solve one question, I am leveraging on other questions, right? I won't be able to complete the paper because those extra 2 minutes or 3 minutes that I took, obviously that is from the other questions that I would have to solve after that, right? Now you have to train yourself to solve every question within a minute, right? That is something that you have to train yourself. If, for example, you feel like you may take more time on a particular question, I would recommend that you flag that question and you move ahead and solve that question, come to that question towards the end, right? So make sure that you follow the 1-minute rule. After that, the third point is, guys, you have graph questions on both the modules. Now I would really want you guys to understand, because SAT has this habit of giving extra reading material so that students may digress, or the students may fall to that trap, they lose focus or something like that. So when you have those graph questions, you have to understand that majority of what the concept or what the question is asking or concerned about is the information that is there in the graph, right? But again, you have to corroborate and you have to see that the information in the graph matches with what's there in the passage. So yes, you have to see what's written in the passage, but majority of it has to come from the graph. So just take the keyword, annotate on that. Most probably you'll get a passage that won't be complete, the last sentence of it won't be complete. So just take the information from the last sentence, what it is saying, and then move on to the graph and take the information from the graph and take the true statement that is in line with the incomplete sentence of the passage and try to take your answer, right? So reading the entire passage over there will make you lose a lot of time, so you can save a lot of time over there, right? But you have to practice how to do this, right? So the fourth topic, or the fourth part where you can save a lot of time, is the rhetorical synthesis question, right? Now you have a lot of notes when you talk about the rhetorical synthesis questions. You have to understand that there is no need of reading all of those notes, right? You can just directly go to the question and see what the question is asking you, and just try to find out that particular information. You can annotate over there as well. You can see what the question is asking you, take that keyword and try to find that keyword in the notes in the that you have above it, right? And whichever note gives you that keyword, that will obviously be your answer, and you can connect it with the option that you have. So if you go on and read verbatim every note that you have on the rhetorical synthesis question, that will obviously waste your time, and you can save that if you play smart, right? That was the fourth part. And the last thing, or the last area where you can save a lot of time on the English section and ultimately score a high, is the function question, right? Where you have the parts of passages underlined, right? And the questions normally ask you to find the function of a particular underlined sentence as a whole for the passage. Now over here in these questions, you normally have to focus on the parts that are underlined, right? So read those parts, analyze those parts, annotate on those parts, see what those parts are saying, and read maybe a sentence above and after it, and you'll have a clear idea of what's going on. So you can save yourself from reading the entire passage if you focus on the part that is underlined, and if you focus on the question, you can very well get to your answer without reading the entire passage, right? So these are the 5 areas. I would repeat. Number 1 is that you start annotating. You write the parts that are important so that they can keep you on track and keep you focused and get to the answer, help you get to the answer as soon as possible. The second one is that you stick to the 1 minute rule. You don't take more than a minute to solve a question. If you feel like you may take more than a minute, flag that question, move ahead and come back to it when you're done with the rest of the paper, right? The third one is that you don't read all of what is written in the graph questions, right? You can just read the information in the graph and the ending part that can get you connected with the information that is there. The fourth part is that when you have the rhetorical synthesis questions, just look at what the question is asking you and get to that keyword, find that keyword in the notes and take that as your answer, or find the answer with the help of that. And the final one is when you have the function questions, just look at and focus on what is the underlined part and try to get to the answer with that. Saving your time will ultimately get you a higher score, especially in the English section, the reading and writing section. Save your time, get a higher score, get into your college that you desire. Thank you so much.